The way several officials have described it is the end of modern life.
Drone footage showing the widespread destruction of the capital of San Juan. Millions of people need still electricity, need drinking water, food.
90% of the island is without power. A majority of the hospitals don't have their own power to operate.
Most of Puerto Rico, as you all know, without power. Many have no water, barely any food. This is a truly catastrophic situation.
The big concern this morning, of course, flooding. Rain gauges show between 18 and 30 inches of rain just in the last 24 hours.
150-mile-an-hour winds ripping buildings apart, knocking out power everywhere. All of the electricity is out tonight. People ordered to stay inside until at least tomorrow amid fears of more massive flooding to come.
Now the hunt is on here for the basics. This woman snagging water from the side of a mountain with mangled power lines everywhere and eye-popping lines at gas stations. People here feel paralyzed and disconnected.
That help is on the way. They are working to set up water stations across the country so that folks can be able to get that water that they need.
Rebuilding will take time for an island in crisis and in need.
When I heard about the devastation, it was definitely overwhelming, being that a lot of other tragic events similar to Maria had happened, such as Texas and other places. So to see that it hit once again, a hurricane, and caused so much tragedy was just awful to hear.
Awful. I couldn't believe what we were all seeing on the news and reading about in the newspapers, and almost immediately I had emails and text messages from students on how can we help.
So my grandfather works for Amerijet Airlines, which is the company that is flying all of the supplies that Molloy gathered down to Puerto Rico. So I was talking to my grandfather, and he had mentioned to me that if I was able to start a fundraiser here, he would be able to do so. So I went to go speak with Janine Payton, and I created a flyer, and she approved it, and she was very generous and willing to help. So she sent out a mass email, and it was pretty much instant. We got a lot of responses right away.
At first I thought it was just going to be about 50 cases of water. It turned out to be so much more, which is awesome, that we were pretty full in the club room, and I think our total was 6 or 7 pallets, thousands and thousands of pounds worth of clothes, food, diapers, pet food, anything you could think of. It was donated by some member of our community. So I did not anticipate the volume in which we were going to receive donations, but I was very, very pleasantly surprised by them. Look what we just did in an hour. That is unbelievable. I can't thank you enough for your help, because I would not have been able to get this all done today, so thank you so much.
Although I was very excited and knew that Molloy would definitely give, I wasn't really sure how some of those things go, but towards the last day of the drive I asked to see what was in there before pickup day, and there was a whole entire room filled. So I was very touched by that. It was definitely an overwhelming, amazing feeling to see that everybody wanted to give.
I think it's so important because this is who we are as a campus, as a community. Our whole community, students and employees, very, very often embrace this notion of service and are always willing to jump in and help, whether that be with money or goods, non-perishable items. Anytime an incident occurs where we have, I'm thinking of Superstorm Sandy or Hurricane Harvey, whenever these things happen, everyone, students and employees, jump to contribute in some way. So it's just what we do here, and it's something that makes Molloy extra special.
I think the responsibility of people who aren't involved in tragedies and have the power to help and the tools to help should definitely get involved, because I feel that it's our duty as citizens and people to have the compassion to help people out in that way. My hopes for the supplies that we fundraised and brought together, that they're distributed and families that haven't really got much yet get those supplies, because I know that some families in San Juan are getting a lot of aid and some on the outskirts aren't getting as much. So I hope it reaches those families who haven't really gotten as much attention or who are suffering.